Attitude check. Bronco Pride.
And welcome to another edition of the Broncos on Blast Progress Report. I'm your host, Alex Podlegar, and we're coming to you from Luther Nick Gerald Stadium on the campus of Fayetteville State University as we look at the Broncos as they go through their fall practice season here at Fayetteville State. And right now we are joined by preseason All-American, strong safety for the Broncos, Andre Lyles. And Andre, thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
And first thing, we talked to your position coach, David Bowser, earlier today, and one thing he talked about he talked about leadership and what you bring to that secondary as a whole. You feel like a leader out there? You feel like that's a responsibility for you?
Yes, sir. I mean, I had the leadership skills about 3-4 years ago. I just had other leaders in front of me, so in order to be a leader, you have to follow first. That's what I think. So.
You feel like you've learned a lot from those guys who went before you? Tell me why.
Yes, sir. I mean, I learned a lot from Agent Horton and Jeff Gowdy because when I first came in, I knew that I wasn't the safety I needed to be to play on this level. So, yeah, I learned a lot from them two guys.
Talk about your progression as a player here. Coach Bowser mentioned it in his piece about how you had to work into the field as a nickelback, things like that. You had to bide your time a little bit. Talk about your progression as a player in your time at Fayetteville State and maybe how it's helped you become a better player.
Yes, sir. When I first got here, I can be honest and say that Coach Bowser is a great coach. I couldn't really break on balls like I supposed to. Every drill I went hard. Every drill we did for a purpose. It got me ready for each game. Even though I was just on special team my first couple of years, it still got me ready. I was always a good backup for Agent Horton and Jeff Gowdy. I played both. So yeah, I mean, I was always ready.
And then now last year was really the breakout season for you. 6 interceptions. You led the CIAA in that, a first-team All-CIAA selection, and now a preseason All-American selection. Tell me about this year. What's the approach this season for you?
To be honest with you, being named preseason All-American is not that much to me. I mean, I just had a good season. I just did what I was supposed to do. I mean, I was in the right place at the right time because of Coach Phillips' defense and did what I was supposed to do for Coach Bowser. I mean, the name, I mean, the honors stuff really doesn't ring a bell enough. I just try to keep playing hard.
Talk about the rest of the guys in the secondary. Again, that was another thing we talked about. A lot of maturation with that secondary last year. A lot of guys grew up before our eyes. Your feelings about the secondary as a whole and how they can progress this year as a unit?
Yeah, I feel real comfortable back there with Joshua Wilkins and Simeon Marshall and the new guy got Fox in. We're expecting big things from him as being free safety for us this year.
Is the approach at all different than you guys had last year with all those guys coming back and all the talent?
We have a different motive this year. Everybody wants to play defense this year. I think our defense is going to be a lot better than last year. But I think our defense is going to be a lot better this year just because of our camp going right now. I think it's going to be a lot better.
Yeah, it's about a week in now. A lot of young guys out here. Again, the numbers have been wonderful, about 100 guys here in camp. You've been here a while. You've been through a few of these. Your thoughts on how practice has gone so far?
I think Coach Phillips stepped up himself. Then, like last year, I'm not saying he wasn't kind of easy on us of defense, but he kind of like set back because, I don't know, but this year he's on us hard because he wants to win games just like we do, so we're ready to play.
Sounds good. And we appreciate Andre joining us here today. One more thing before you go. Again, another young thing, a lot of young receivers out here. You're on the other side, so you're trying to stop them from what they're trying to do in practice. But, you've got an interesting viewpoint. Can you tell us a little bit about the wide receiver unit here at Fayetteville State this year?
I mean, we're here to compete every day, so if they have the ball, I'm trying to make a play. So me and our DBs, we always make plays go the other way. We're not really concerned about the receivers, just concerned who have the ball.
Well, we know that they're probably going to be a lot better this year because of the defense they're going to have to go against here in practice. So you've been watching the Broncos on Blast Progress Report. We appreciate Andre Lyles for taking the time out to check in with us here after practice today. Remember, all the latest news in Fayetteville State athletics you can find at fsubroncos.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to come out to Gerald Stadium on September 3rd to see the Broncos take on UNC Pembroke in the third Two Rivers Classic. I'm Alex Podlegar, and we'll see you again real soon.